Okay, so there's been a lot of controversy surrounding the new proposed National Maternity Hospital here in Ireland, and recently, from what I've seen, there's a fair bit of misinformation going around, so we're going to try and get the facts straight. This is a picture of the current National Maternity Hospital. It's located on Holles Street in Dublin, and it's at the very heart of the city. It is the largest maternity hospital in Ireland, and parts of it are very old. They date back to around the 1700s. The main building, however, dates to around the 1930s. This does put the facility at a rather advanced age, and due to the increase in demand and the lack of room for expansion, the Department of Health has decided to move the National Maternity Hospital to a new location. The new location would have to meet a number of criteria, but the most important of which was that the new National Maternity Hospital would have to be located close to or adjacent to an existing adult care facility. The recommendation was published in a report by KPMG in 2008. The site chosen in 2013 under Minister for Health James Riley was a site in Elm Park, Dublin 4. It was on the same site as the existing St. Vincent's University Hospital. This was at the time regarded to be the best place for the new National Maternity Hospital. The proposed designs for the hospital were met with wide approval by the medical community in Ireland, and at the time the hospital was estimated to cost around €150 million. That price estimate then rose from €150 million to €300 million at time of publishing this video. St. Vincent's University Hospital, it is run by the St. Vincent's Health Group, and that is a not-for-profit company that runs the hospital and two others in Dublin. The net worth of these group's assets is around €233 million, and the sole and only owners of this group are the Religious Sisters of Charity. And they founded the first St. Vincent's Hospital back in 1843. And the Sisters of Charity nominate the board of St. Vincent's Hospital, and currently there is one member of the Sisters of Charity sitting on the current St. Vincent's board. Two separate hospital entities were coming together and had to be worked out how these hospitals were going to be run. In the negotiations over the governance of the hospitals, the two parties, which was the National Maternity Hospital and the St. Vincent's Health Group, ran into difficulties. They couldn't agree on certain parts of the arrangement, so Minister for Health Simon Harris started a mediation process under a third party, and eventually this year the two parties agreed on a new proposal. What that new proposal stated was that a brand new company separate to the National Maternity Hospital and separate to the St. Vincent's Health Group would be set up to run the hospital. The Sisters of Charity, St. Vincent's Health Group, would nominate 4 members to the board, and the National Maternity Hospital would nominate another 4 members to the board, and then the last 9th member would be an obstetrician / gynecologist of international reputation. The board would have control over the operation of the hospital. However, for the hospital itself, because it was being built on the land owned by the St. Vincent's Health Group and by extension the Sisters of Charity, that the sole ownership of the hospital would go to the Sisters of Charity and not be split between the National Maternity Hospital and the St. Vincent's Health Group. And this is the point where people are getting upset. A lot of people feel that the Irish states shouldn't be giving ownership of a 300 million hospital to a private organisation. Others don't want a religious organisation that has historic objections to contraceptives and abortions to be in charge of a maternity hospital. The Sisters of Charity themselves carry a lot of historical baggage in Ireland. They've run several Magdalen laundries in the past, and they currently owe the Irish government €3 million of a €5 million payment to be made in terms of redress for victims of child abuse. The Sisters of Charity will not be involved in the day-to-day running of the hospital. Minister for Health Simon Harris has guaranteed that the hospital will have full clinical and operational independence from the Sisters of Charity, even though they'll be the owners, and he's guaranteed that the Department of Health and any Minister of Health going forward will have a golden chair on that board. So those are the basic facts for the situation. I'm not getting into my opinion on this. This video is about facts, it's about getting the information out there. So what is happening is that this hospital is being built. It's going to cost €300 million, probably more. These estimates always tend to go up. The Irish government is footing the bill for this hospital, but it will end up being owned by the Sisters of Charity. They won't be involved in the running of the hospital. Like I said, the Minister of Health has guaranteed clinical and operational independence for the hospital, but at the same time, the Irish government is effectively giving away a hospital worth 300 million euro to a private organization. That private organization does run 2-3 hospitals at the moment, and they run them quite well. So again, complicated. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you leave this more informed than you came in, and when discussing this in future, I hope you discuss it civilly, and I hope you use the information in this video to have a constructive argument about the ownership of healthcare in this country, and whether it should be in private hands or it should all be in public hands. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a good